How we doing this morning, folks? Give me a second. Make sure we're 5 by 5 and we'll get started, okay? Thank you for being here, by the way. Slow chat. Oh, don't mess that one up, son. All right, folks, are we 5 by 5? Y'all getting anything on your end? Thank you, Big T. I'm reloading everything here. All right, good deal. We are 5 by 5. I appreciate it, folks. All right, good deal. How we doing this morning? Sorry about yesterday. For those that haven't been to the community section, my son was sick. I had to take him to the doctor first thing tomorrow morning. Yesterday morning. Wow, it's the only time we could get him in. He has the stomach bug. Not the C-19, thankfully. So, Jonathan Hicks, congrats on being the first one in here this morning, brother. Who's in the house? Jen Boyles. Let me see here. Normally I lurk, but I was up checking on him and I wasn't able to lurk. Jennifer Cruz, what kind of poll is this? This is a Friday poll, just having a little fun. And I'm praying that, I haven't checked it, I'm praying nobody picked the Whoopi Goldberg option there. American Oma, good morning. Third Eye Chronicles, good morning. Moderators, Mames, and the moderators, thank you for being here. Howling Dog Ranch, how you doing? Paul Jones, good morning, brother. Rhonda, let me see here. Nana, good morning, and Matt. Digna, First Waffen, I'm not sure. The moderators from time to time will hear from First Waffen, and then I hear through them. I emailed First Waffen a while back. I haven't gotten a response, but an OG in the community. So y'all continue to pray, please. Quickly, Shotgun Saturday Night is tomorrow night, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it was a landslide poll this week, apparently, on Patreon. Tomorrow night, we're going to be talking about books, movies, and TV shows that are really good for preppers, that really signify what SHTF is and how to deal with it and things like that. Okay, so it should be fun. Let's talk about the social credit system that is taking place right now and the blacklist. This is not a theory. For those that don't know, I've linked it below. It is actually taking place right now in parts of China, and this is the grand plan, if you will, here in the United States. It is coming to the United States, all right? So, again, this is Wikipedia, in case you're not familiar, but it began in the 1980s, the concept of a social credit system. So, when we think about a credit system, most of us think about, do you pay your bills on time, that sort of thing. What they actually do, they factor that in, but they factor in how nice you are online, what type of social media you have. Have you ever been put on a list or put in timeout by social media? This sort of stuff. And they have, we'll get into it, they have a blacklist. So what it does, according to their own definition, it helps determine the trustworthiness of a citizen that is living, again, in China, but it is coming here. They have a blacklist and also a white list. The blacklist, if you make the blacklist, folks, you're on there for 2 to 5 years on average before they remove you. If you're on the white list, if you've been a great citizen, it actually gives you discounts. So, for example, if you go stay in a hotel, you might get a 5% discount, or they'll let you into the theater early or a concert, something of this nature. The white list is not what I'm concerned about. It is the blacklist. So let me give you some of the examples that folks on the blacklist in China are dealing with right now, okay? They cannot get into theaters whatsoever. If they've not been a good citizen, you can't go and watch a movie. Big whoopee, right? Hotels. So if you're on the white list, you get a slight discount maybe, or they'll upgrade you to a suite. If you're on a black list, they just don't want you there. So you can't book in their hotels. Banking, and I'm going to underline that one because we're coming back. That one's huge. They will slow down your internet connection. So if it has been deemed that you're bad enough to be on the blacklist and you have social media, they slow down the internet connection on purpose so you cannot spread your freedom of thought, is the way I would put it online as much. They will fine you. They will give you work. You can find jobs, but not prestigious jobs. So for example, if you have a degree and you can work in education, you're not going to be able to work in education. They might hire you to sweep a floor somewhere, but they don't want you educating kids because you're not with the program, so to speak. And again, folks, this is not a theory. It's really going on, okay? The children of parents who are on a blacklist cannot attend universities. Okay, so again, 3 to 5 years. If you're on a blacklist, your kids, even if they totally disagree with everything you say in China, they're not allowed to go to a university because their parents are on the blacklist. And this one, even if you associate with somebody on a blacklist, you're not going to be able to, you yourself then get put on a blacklist. So I see Wine Sipper in the chat. Okay, so if I invite Wine Sipper over for dinner, Wine Sipper, it just happens to be on a blacklist, okay? And my neighbor sees this and they recognize that Wine Sipper's on a blacklist. They can at that point call and report it or snitch it out. In order for themselves to get a slight discount, they earn their way onto the white list, and now I'm blacklisted as well. Again, this is really happening. So the biggest problem, it sounds too communistic. It is, Amelia, 100%. But the big problem, again, was the banking with the underline. Because we're headed for a complete digital economy. Okay, they're going to do away with paper money soon enough, which forces us to, if we're going to live in society, to use a credit or a debit card, or maybe, I'm using the phone right now, maybe an application on the phone, something like Apple Pay or whatever. The problem is banks right now in China, if you're on a blacklist, they can and usually will turn you away. And it's totally legal under this system. So if I go down and I try and download an application on the phone in order to buy, sell, and trade, the application on the phone can deem whether or not I'm trustworthy enough. And if I'm a bad citizen, they can actually deny me service, okay? If we're limited to credit and debit or on a phone app, and they say, hey, you're not trustworthy enough, you have a Parler account. It's so vague, like if you have a Parler account, Trump is coming out with a brand new social media account here in the United States. So let's say, for example, they implement this here, and again, it's coming, and they find out you have an account over there on Trump's deal, they can blacklist you immediately. They don't have to give you a reason other than you have an account over there. So now banks will turn you away. You don't have a credit or a debit card, and providers through your mobile device can also turn you away. How can you buy, sell, and trade? Do you understand where I'm going with this? This is huge, and it's something not enough people are talking about. How can, we legally survive? In China, some people cannot get electricity or they cannot get water because they don't score high enough on the list. They're blacklisted, basically. How do you survive? In a coming system, again, who decides or determines this? Massive. The government. The government is deciding in China. But what the government is doing there is they have deferred it to corporations. So, for example, here in the United States, this would be up to your electric company. This would be up to, again, the person that designs the, the digital currency application on your phone. This will be up to banks exclusively. And they can restrict everything that you do, including, again, electricity, water, eating, this sort of stuff. This is why social media in Silicon Valley hates preppers. This is my opinion. This is why they hate us. This is why they hate prepping channels in general. Because the folks that are running Silicon Valley, they already know that the social credit system is on its way. And in order to force you into submission, you have to be reliant on the government. You're going to need the government. You're going to need grocery stores. You're going to need the power company. And prepping channels are trying to get you to do the opposite, to not be dependent on the man, if you will. All right? Prepping channels are going to encourage you to stack food to the rafters, as we say, to become self-sufficient, to grow your own food, to have solar options, to have water options, things of this nature. They hate us for this reason. I'm convinced this morning, okay? Prepare to submit or prepare to live outside of society would be my advice. If you're here and you're not a non-prepper, that's on you. For whatever reason you're here, thank you for being here, but be prepared to submit. If you're not preparing for this, I promise you it's coming. You're going to have to submit, okay? Do y'all think, I'm going to ask the chat this morning, do you think that the C-19 is random? Do you think it just happened randomly one day? Because in my opinion, folks, you have to destroy before you build. Okay, so if you're going to build a brand new skyscraper, for example, you have to go and you have to demolish the land, you have to flatten the land, you have to prepare it before you start building. The social credit system and the digital reset is what they want to build. This is what they intend to build here in the United States. Before they build this, they have to level the system that is already here. What is the best way to do that? I would argue a C-19 and the various variants of the C-19. This is the utopia that they intend to build. I believe the elites knew this a long time ago, and they've been setting up for a long time. The change shortage, no. There's no change shortage, folks. They're taking it out of circulation on purpose. They're getting people used to the idea of using nothing but digital currency. And then at that point, what I'm afraid of, the crypto stuff, they're going to either go in, they're going to regulate it, they're going to find a way to get rid of it, or they are going to come out with something digital of their own, something like a Fed coin, and that'll be the only choice you have here in the United States, okay? I'm a huge fan of the concept of crypto. I just don't trust the banks. I don't trust corporate America. I don't think they're going to allow it to stay around much longer. The prepping community is a community. We're truly a community, and we're going to have each other's backs. But as I've said time and again, very bad times are coming. And many creators know this. Again, this is why many creators are encouraging you to stack. We're encouraging you to learn how to do your own stuff. Get as far away from needing the man as humanly possible, okay? So I wanted to cover that actually yesterday morning, but I wasn't here. So I do apologize. Soon enough, cash will be illegal. Tomorrow, yes, you're absolutely right. There will be some bartering going on. Precious metals, ammo, stuff like this, car parts and stuff, farming equipment. But the problem is they want to build a society where maybe if you get caught bartering, you get blacklisted. So this is a huge concern moving forward. You may be a criminal at some point for trying to barter or try to circumvent the system. At least this is what's happening in China. Y'all research this. It's the information, the game plan's already out there. Okay. Again, I linked the Wikipedia down below, but there's several other articles. You have to dig around a little bit for them. Okay. 3 prepping items this morning to switch over. Number 1, a national roadmap. I spy, said my little eye. Russia just attacked the Ukraine. Wow. If that's true, I will check as soon as we get done streaming. If that's true, I'll be all over that. Thank you for letting me know. A national roadmap. You're going to need a national roadmap. We have to understand it's not just an EMP strike that you need to worry about. The grid can go down for various reasons. During an SHTF, you may not be able to access digital stuff, okay? A paper map, a national roadmap is something great to have. I would also encourage you to have paper maps of your area all of the side roads and stuff, and a compass, okay? This stuff you're going to need. Number 2, sanitary items. Don't really need to go into too much detail there, but they are good to have, okay? Number 3, what would you do with this? Wire coat hanger. Yes, it is a prep, folks. You can use it for many different things. First thing that pops into my mind is, if you're familiar with these solar shower bags that you can get for camping and bugging out. I think that they're 5 gallons. They may make them larger, I'm not sure, but the ones that I've seen are 5 gallons. You hang them out of a tree or something, you give them a couple of hours, it heats the water up, okay, so you can take a shower. So I'm thinking wire coat hanger for this. Kind of shook me up a little bit when you said Russia and Ukraine there. I'm going to be checking in on that. That is huge news, if so. So to the poll this morning, I was just trying to have some fun. You'd rather, 78% of you said like and subscribe. Thank you for that, by the way. 15% say bug out in an AMC Gremlin. Okay, I can see this one. The people that voted, the 15%, I can see it. I'm actually, it's largely considered a crap car like the Ford Pinto or the Fiero of the 80s, but I'm actually a fan of the Fiero. I wish I had one. So there you go on that. 5% of you, how dare you on this one, by the way, see Whoopi Goldberg Dirty Dancing. Just no. I can't believe anybody picked this. How dare you? And 2%, y'all are some sick individuals. 2%, watch a marathon of The View. I'm going to find you. I want names on this one. Who would do that? All you had to do is hit the like. All you had to do is do this, and you're going to do 24 hours of The View instead, or watch Whoopi Goldberg Dirty Dance. Homestead Homeboy says, Big Dog, good morning, son. Good morning. Yeah, thank you, brother. Everybody's saying that's nasty. Yeah, I don't want to see it. So the scenario that I have this morning was sent in by Elizabeth. Thank you very much. She said, flash mobs are the new normal in San Francisco. Can't call it looting anymore because that's oppressive, okay? It's flash mobbing, or what do they call it, smash and grab or something. Can't use the word looting. But it is spreading now outside of San Francisco. How you doing, Trucker Nanny? If this were to happen to you in a store, what would you do? How would you react? Elizabeth wants to know, especially if you're not carrying. So if you're not carrying for whatever reason and you're in a store and this goes down for real, you see, 200 people just roll up all of a sudden and start doing a smash and grab. How do you react as a prepper? How do you react as somebody that's prepared, who, again, is not carrying? This ought to be interesting. We call them thieves and rioters. Well, that's what they are, Craig. But now they're saying, well, you can't say that because these people, they've been up against it since the womb. Yes, massive people, there's a political correct name for looting. They do not like that word anymore. You get out. James says, I get out. I'm just leaving. Step back or retreat, not my store. That makes sense to me, Jen. I'm going to make sure, if my family's with me, I'm going to make sure they're protected. I'm going to look on the shelf for something I can use to melee with, perhaps. And I'm just going to walk out of the store. Let's see here. How you doing this morning, prepping preacher? I always carry Parabellum. Well, a lot of people do, but specifically, she was like, if you're not carrying something, head to the ladies' room. Well, yeah, if they're hardcore liberals, they ain't gonna find you there because you also cannot use the word lady anymore. I've been told. These people are nuts. So, time for the speed round, and again, I only have 3. Am I doing that right? Yeah, 3 cards here, okay? And the way this works, if you're brand new here, Nomad Terry, thank you very much for that. The way this works is I'm going to flash a card up in front of the screen. I'll tell you what it says, and then you just put down the first thought that comes into your mind, okay? PG-13, please. And this is random stuff. Buckle Buckle up, put the Hans device on because chat does fly. All right, so first, 2022. First thing that comes to your mind, 2022. Arlene says, well, what can you say? I don't know. They need a list. They need a list of things we're allowed to say. SHTF, scary, chaos, 1984. That's a good one. UFOs, wow. Perilous times. War. Market crash. I think both of those are coming indeed. Better than 2021. Well, somebody's optimistic. We need a little optimism, don't we? Red wave, perhaps. I'm hoping. Fighting off the Tifas in my front yard. Buckle up. Martial law. Let's hope not. Lockdowns? Probably. They seem to be headed that way. Okay, number 2. Your favorite EDC. Everyday carry. Since we were just talking about looting or smash and grabs or whatever. Shopping trips of the oppressed, I guess it would be one way. Glock 34. A flamethrower really is an everyday carry. You didn't vote for Whoopi, did you, this morning? Swiss knife. Very, very good. My blade, Smith & Wesson. Leatherman, okay. 2 flamethrowers, two of y'all in the live chat are carrying flamethrowers. Get out of here. My mind, that's a very good one. You'd be surprised how many people walk around without those anymore. Scorpion. Scorpions aren't, if you're talking about the hand style booms, they're not very accurate. They're sexy, but not accurate. Hellcat, Mame says. Okay, and finally, this one's a little scary. That's the first thing that comes to my mind is scary. AI, artificial intelligence. Since robots seem to be the big thing now. Run. Unplug. Yes, white collar prepping. Unplug these things now. Unplug them. Terminator. We're going to be talking about Terminator definitely tomorrow night on Shotgun. Job loss. Absolutely. Skynet. There we go, Gray Lady. Skynet. Somebody else said Skynet. Dan the Man. RoboCop. These things are not that nice, I would say. Umbrella Corporation. Somebody, what is it? That's Resident Evil, right? Thank you. Maria says we are 5x5. Thank you very much for that. Arnold Schwarzenegger, The Matrix. All right, so to head to some more, before we get in the chat, some more ridiculous news here. Some of this has been covered on Patreon already, but Nancy Pelosi has a daughter. Yeah, her name is Christine Pelosi, and she is now considering running for San Francisco's 12th congressional district. She wants to replace her mama. So if you thought Nancy Pelosi was going anywhere, she may just be replaced by her daughter, who they say is far worse than Nancy Pelosi. And I need some thoughts on this. Do we really need a Pelosi now for another 40 or 50 years? Because she's not that old, folks. No. Arlene's just like, no. And you know what? I shouldn't laugh, though, because San Francisco, their voters, they seem to be gluttons for punishment. They'll vote this woman in, I think. Even in a fair election, if a fair election were to somehow take place. Is she the Wicked Witch of the East or the West? Well, she's on the West Coast. So, yeah, it seems like the swamp is just ready to unscrew Nancy. She's an old light bulb, and they're going to put a new one in to run for another 40 years. Well, Scott, I don't say nuke California. I say put a wall up or something. They were threatening to pull away from the union a while back, and I was like, please go, please. I'll come help. I will come help. Please just leave. Give the Patriots in California time to get out and then go. She gets her mom's broom. Correct, Robert. She would get her mom's broom. So, yeah, I wanted to mention that. Now, this story, the intel's down below, and this one shook me up a little bit. I'm not sure really how to feel about this. So, for those that haven't heard, the Salvation Army has went woke. A couple of weeks ago, they published, it was called the Racism Guide. They published it online, and they went into Christianity, which is awesome. They said racism shouldn't exist, and I'm like, well, this is kind of weird coming from a charity, but okay, I'm listening now. And there were several quotes in there that just were beyond ridiculous. And one of the quotes was, and I quote, "Stop denying that white privilege doesn't exist." Stop denying that it exists, I should say. And I said, wait a minute. Now, hold on now. This is heartbreaking because I believe the Salvation Army does a lot of great work. Oh, my tie. Thank y'all. Wasn't aware. I think they do a lot of great work, folks, for those in need. But I guess I don't understand the need for them, of all people, all corporations, to publish a guide to racism. Why can't you just take people's money and do good things with it? I don't understand. So there was a lot of backlash online, and they pulled the racism guide. And then they released a statement. And I said, here we go. They're going to apologize for this because it was a huge misstep, okay? There had to be a room full of high-ranking people, the Salvation Army, sign off on this and say the racism guide is a great idea. We should do that this year. So they all messed up. And I said, here comes the apology. They released a statement, and they didn't apologize. They said their true intentions were actually ignored, and people didn't understand what they were trying to say. So not only are we inherently racist, we're also very ignorant, and we can't understand what direct quotes mean. Here in 2021, and this is heartbreaking. This is called the Kafka fallacy. The Kafka fallacy is, we stand for this and we believe this. And so if you don't believe exactly what we believe, then you must not stand for this. So in other words, for you Christians, you're not a good Christian if you're not on board with the CRT now. And really, there was some communist stuff in there. And I'm like, no. Okay, here's the deal. I can be a good person. I can be a good Christian. I can still help people and not agree with the nonsense. It doesn't mean I have to sign off on this nonsense. So I don't know how to deal with this. What I'm probably going to do moving forward, there's some people on social media, Twitter and stuff, and they're printing off these, it says good for one white apology. And they're actually putting this in the pots now instead of money. They're apologizing, for being white. I'm not going to take it to that extreme. I'm not going to troll them or anything like this. But what I'm going to do from now on is I'm just going to cut out the middleman. It occurred to me when I was reading this, because I do give to charity, folks, and I'm not beating my chest. I'm able to do it because of your support here and also the folks over on Patreon and the Coffee Club. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to give a lot. But I do give to charity, and I'm just going to continue to do that without the Salvation Army. We really don't need a company taking our money and redistributing it. If I'm going to do that, I can just easily give the money to a local church that I trust or something. You know what I mean? But we help out food banks and stuff like that, and it just feels like they have one hand out. They want your money, and then they're using the other hand to slap you across the face and try and make you feel guilty for something you can't control. And it's nonsense to me. It really is. But yeah, it's linked down below. I think what is linked down below is the actual article that links to the original guide, but again, they pulled the guide down. And now they're saying that they're panicking. They're saying that they're not going to hit their goal for the year, in terms of collecting money. And I'm thinking, really? You didn't know this was going to happen? We see it out of places like Coke and Black Rifle Coffee and Nike, but there's a huge difference here. Coke, Black Rifle, Nike, they're trying to sell a product. And if I don't like what they have for sale, I just go buy it somewhere else. The Salvation Army, they don't even have a product. They literally exist to take your money. They're a charity. And I don't understand why they couldn't just be a charity, why they had to get overly political about everything. Because again, they were doing good work, but it's heartbreaking, man. They should have kept their mouth shut loose. They really should have. And just help people. I don't understand what's so hard about that concept. So Stacy Abrams has now announced that she intends to run again for governor of Georgia. She wants to be the governor of Georgia. I want to get some thoughts on this. She almost won last time. She refused to concede, and then the last time when she was finally beaten, she threw mud everywhere. She said it's because the voters that didn't vote for me are racist. It's because I'm a woman. She just went off on everybody. And I'm not sure that that's going to swing many votes her way this time around. But Double D Homestead said no. Just laughing and said no. The issue is the Democratic Party has already announced they're going to throw a ton of money on Stacey Abrams. They're throwing a bunch of money there. They're throwing a bunch at Beto. They're going to try and flip these two states. You watch and see. It is going to be another close election. There's going to be a lot of shady stuff take place there in Georgia. And I'm sorry to say, thank you to Ricky from France. Thank you for being here. Sorry to say, for you folks in Texas, there's going to be some shady stuff taking place there. You better watch the polls, I'm telling you. I don't see that. I don't see a world in which Beto wins on his own. I don't care how much money they throw in his lap. But there's going to be some chicanery going on. So, yeah, Stacey Abrams. She may be president one day. Who knows? I better watch my mouth on that. There'll be some down thumbs on that. All right, so switching over. This is very important. Remember a while back when we were talking about a possible civil war and possible secession and the convention of states and things. So the federal government has mandated, in case you didn't know, most of you do, that all National Guardsmen and women are going to take the thing. It's now mandated. You're going to take it or you're out. And Governor DeSantis of Florida said, no, that ain't going to fly in Florida. I'm not going to force the National Guard here to take it. So the federal government has now stepped in and said, we have the authority. We are funding the National Guard, therefore they will take it, or we're going to put a boot in their hind end and kick them out. So check this out, and Google it if you want. Governor DeSantis in Florida is now asking legislators in Florida to give him $3.5 million. Why? Because he is going to fund the Florida State Guard. He is going to form his own National Guard in Florida. And he's encouraging other states, the states that were interested specifically in the Convention of States, to fund their own National Guard as well. And if this passes and if he gets the money, he's going to establish Florida's own National Guard, and then he's going to boot the federal National Guard out of Florida. This is the kind of stuff, as Sarah says, we don't deserve DeSantis. This is the kind of stuff that leads to civil war. I would argue today, and this is opinion, folks, that the government has a huge overreach. They have way overstepped their boundaries on many different things. It's been this way for decades or longer. Now the states want some of their power back. Now the states do not want a dictator, or as DeSantis calls Biden, a king in power. And so they are trying to get as much federal overreach out of their states as humanly possible. And now we're getting to the point where he is going to arm and outfit soldiers. Many of the National Guardsmen, by the way, and the women that will be booted over mandates, he's probably just going to absorb them and form the Florida State Guard with them. So they're going to have the same training anyway. So this has huge implications. If we see this happen, this is going to be looked at by places like Texas and Louisiana, potentially Georgia, and they're going to say, we'll do the same thing. Arkansas will do the same thing. And they're going to kick the National Guard out of all these states and send them back to D.C. They're starting to take their states back, and God love them for it. And so I want to switch over. Finally, this is the last thing I have. This is according to the New York Post, so take it with a grain of salt. But this is, nothing says 2021 like what I'm about to tell you here. What is the latest shortage here in the United States? Does anybody know? North Carolina, please. Yes, Golden Saucer, please. Does anybody know what the latest shortage is here? Sharon, is this the beginning of the South rising again? It could be, but I don't think it's specifically going to be the South. I think there are a lot of conservative states in flyover country that are sick of it as well. Okay, chicken tenders, integrity, yes. 5-gallon bucket lids. Here's 2021. Here's a snapshot of Joe Biden's America. The latest shortage, according to the New York Post, Santa Clauses in your local mall. Oh yeah, in department stores. 18% of Santa Clauses are sitting out this Christmas. And they give 3 reasons why. Number 1, the C-19. They don't want to be around a lot of snot-nosed kids, apparently, that are sitting on Santa's lap telling him, I want this new thing that I don't really need, son. Kim, welcome to the coffee club. Thank you very much. The second thing is the mandates. Many of them they live in areas where there are mandates and they just quit. They just said, I ain't coming back. I'm not going to be Santa anymore. Yeah, but finally, this is Joe Biden's America. There's a shortage on robes and hats for Santa Claus. They can't get enough robes and hats, and they don't want to go to the Goodwill. They don't want to go to the Goodwill and mix and match and piecework together an outfit, so they are just done. They're sitting this one out. There are not enough Santa Clauses anymore in Joe Biden's America. I had something to lighten the mood a little bit, but I couldn't believe it. So I'm in the chat now. I don't have any notes in front of me. I'm going to see what y'all are talking about here. Only bad Santas will be there. Yeah. Poorly trained Santas that are demanding $50 an hour and full benefits. Fish stick shortage. Steve is upset about that. So my daughter, she almost dropped her phone this morning, and she caught it. And she said, oh my God, I almost dropped my phone. She said, wait, if I drop my phone, does that mean I'll get a new one? Will y'all get me a new one? I said, oh yeah, I'll get you a flip phone with the alphanumeric text. And folks, I'm old because she didn't even know what alphanumeric text means. I had to explain to her, you got to hit the 1 button 3 times, 4 times, all this stuff. She was laughing. She said, I've never heard of that before. So if you remember that, you are old. We are old. Not to discourage y'all. Nothing wrong with being a little older, but yeah. I remember phones with antennas on the outside, and she doesn't. Selling Prepper, thank you. What's up, brother? Well, Tim Osman Gaming, here's the thing. So let's start a revolution. In order for us to be legal about it and have the Constitution on our side, they're either going to have to become illegal or they're going to have to bring the revolution to our front door. Or not to our front door, but to us. And they're threatening to do it. I don't remember the lady's name. She's a Democratic lawmaker. She's out in front of the Supreme Court protesting because they're talking about Roe versus Wade. And she has said on record, and I quote, that it will bring on a revolution from the left if they overturn Roe versus Wade. And I'm like, please bring that revolution on. We have been waiting for so long. A senator, thank you, Luce. I don't remember her name. I think we posted that to Patreon yesterday. I don't remember the lady's name, but she's threatening the rest of America. If they overturn Roe versus Wade, you're going to see us. We're bringing the revolution to you. And I'm like, please, bring the revolution. Please, bring it. Monster's mama said, yeah, bring it. Mr. Patriot, legal is out the window, has been for 100 years. I understand what you're saying, but please understand they're trying to bait patriots into doing stupid things so they can legally arrest them. They don't want patriots out here. Okay, they're trying to trap people into doing some. Look what they're doing with January the 6th. This is January the 6th, right? Look what they're doing with that. They're witch hunting anybody that was there, and they're throwing charges on them. It is tyranny. I agree with you, but we have to be very careful about what we say and what we call for here, especially on social media. Tim Osmond, they're going to start it for us. That's the thing. They want total compliance. And when we get to the point where we're not going to comply anymore, they will start the revolution. And then we have the Constitution backing us up 1,000%. And then we have the side of, we're on the legal side of things, and then we can take our country back. Stephen says, if there is a list, I'm on it. Well, number one, I assure you there are lists out there. I promise you. And number two, we are probably on so many right now that it would blow your mind. Matthew Kitchens, Beaverines. Blossom Beauty, hey John, how are you? Defend your constitutional rights. There you go, tomorrow. When they try and take a constitutional right, okay, so they right now, because of the thing, I think it was in Michigan, the school thing, they're saying gun violence. We got to get rid of guns. All right. Of course, that's the default every single time. There's no mention of the fact that this man had just went out. The father, I think, had went out on Black Friday and bought it. He didn't have it properly secured. He didn't have it locked up or anything, apparently. And it's always the gun's fault. They're going to come for the Second Amendment, okay? And when they do that, in the wide open, in the public eye, they're breaking the law. They're going against the Constitution. And at that point in time, it is okay to start a revolution. And because you are being constitutional about it, okay? Bring back rotary phones. GG, I remember those. I remember being at my, God love her, my grandma's house, putting the receiver up here and you pulling it back and you hear it go. I don't remember Independent Marine. I don't remember the metal ones. I know they're out there, but the one she had was plastic, and then I remember the payphones. They were all hard plastic, though. RDNK, you see where Alec Baldwin has claimed he didn't pull the trigger. Yeah, that man's an idiot. He doesn't understand how the device actually works, okay? So he's not using on the set, he's not using a modern handgun. He's using one of the older ones where you actually have to forcefully pull the hammer back. Okay, that doesn't just randomly happen. That actually takes some effort to pull that back. And then at that point, it doesn't take a whole lot to press the trigger. It doesn't take a lot of pressure. I think 2 or 3 pounds or something. But to pull that hammer back, that's a huge issue. John the Ringer sounds like a fire bell. Yeah, he's full of it. He's trying to blame shift to somebody else. It was in his hand, unless somebody walked over and pulled it back for him, he's the only one with the thing. They don't just randomly go off like that, okay? This isn't, semi-automatic that was made in China. This is a really old-style revolver. I do. Panda Bear, that's very good. I do. Panda Bear says, do you think that they're waiting for everybody to spend their money during the Christmas season and then they're going to lock people down? I do. I think corporate America has great influence in our country, and this is my opinion, with lawmakers and things, and it would crush corporate America if people were locked down now. I think they're waiting until maybe January, maybe a little bit further in, but January especially, and then the lockdowns are coming. Now, Germany is doing this now. They have announced that they're locking people down, but only those that have not taken the whiskey shot. They're completely locking them down. They're locking them out of society. We could see a situation like that, where if you haven't taken this thing for whatever reason, that you're going to be locked down in your home at that point. So yeah, it's a wait and see thing, but I know on Monday we're going to be talking about Australia. Somebody had mentioned Australia the other day. They are tearing that place apart. The citizens they're trying to flip it over. It is. Can y'all hear the train? It is. Thank you, Big Red, for mentioning that. 1940s again in Germany. It is, Dustin, and it's sad because after all they went through, in the 40s, late 30s, early 40s, you would think out of all countries, the Germans would be smart enough to see what's going on, but they're not. And I just saw now where I don't have a list of the lawmakers, but a bunch of Republicans signed off on the idea of creating a national database here in the United States for the people that have not taken the whiskey shot. In most cases, databases are bad. I would say in pretty much every case, armbands and things are bad, and segregation is bad. It just doesn't need to happen. 80 of them, thank you, Random Lin Jin. I don't have the list in front of me, but I don't trust Republicans either. I really don't. They're as bad as the rest. Michael Clay, yes, I swapped out the smoke detector batteries. I can't believe y'all heard that the other day. Okay, I will do that, Selling Prepper Dark Secrets. I will do that. My son, okay, so we have a local food bank, and every year they go into the school, and this is going to sound crazy, but they go into the schools, and the classrooms collect canned food, okay? So whichever class collects the most canned food, that class gets a pizza party, the food bank. We donate money to the food bank anyway, but I'm going to be sure that my son, his class wins. So last day or two, I'm probably just going to donate a few $100s worth of canned food down there and then give them some money as well. And again, that's not me saying, oh, I'm giving money. It's mostly because YouTube is paying a dime here and there, and I just send that money elsewhere. They're all swamp creatures. They are. Big T, I believe there are a few that are there for the right reasons. Rand Paul seems to be one most of the time. But, yeah, there's not enough good ones there. Ink Scars. The medical list is HR 550. Thank you. So anybody wants to look that up, it is HR 550 is the actual legislation on that. Frank says, I heard online Black Friday and Cyber Monday took a hit. Black Friday took a huge hit. They fell, I think, almost 20% short of what they were expecting. And they said, oh, we'll make it up on Cyber Monday, and it also took a hit. So many companies lost out on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Either people don't have the expendable income right now, or they're just not interested. They're worried about other things. I would say, and this is my opinion, folks, that most people just don't have the extra income. The energy bills are going up. Ours has went up probably 15% so far, which isn't a ton, but it's still money that we weren't counting on having to pay. Some people have said it's went up 50 or 60% for heating costs and things. Food has went up. I mean, everything's went up. Prep ammo, Carolina. It's out there. I see the ammo when I go in now to the gun barn. It's there. It's a little more expensive than I want to pay, but I do still grab some here and there because we don't know when the next shortage on that is coming. MX, thank you. MX says they are German and they see everything. First Waffen is in the house. What's going on, First Waffen? Thanks, Mames. I didn't see him in here. We have been praying for you, Waffen. Thank you for being here. You are an OG here. That is awesome. Hopefully you're feeling much better. I know you've been through the ringer. If you need anything at all, you email me, okay? My email is down below. But no, that is fantastic. Ink scars. Yeah, the gas bills went up 20% so far. So my buddy Mark from Patreon emailed last night. I was at my daughter's basketball game, but he emailed and he showed me a picture of a filter. So he's been waiting for weeks for the oil company to come out. They were supposed to swap out the filter, fill up the tank and everything. He's been waiting for weeks. And he said they didn't swap out the filter. I don't know if they just didn't have one or what. But he called back to say, hey, I need a new filter. And they were extremely rude on the phone. And he said, he had another order in, I think it was for $1,500 to be refilled down the road. And he said, just cancel it. I'm not even going to deal with it. I got a wood stove. So, it's more work on him, he was saying, because of the wood stove. But he said these people, now you either can't get somebody to do something, or when they show up, they're incompetent. So look for that moving forward. JRC Homestead, can't find mobile 1, 15 weight 30 anywhere in our area. Thank you for that. I know I haven't checked. We have some motor oil and stuff here. I haven't checked the shelves, but I do know that the places that do like the fast service and stuff, they went way up on the price. We have Walmart, and then we have, oh my gosh, it's a tire place here. It's a national tire place. I forget what it is now. They do tires and brakes and stuff, but they do oil changes, and it's went up. I was raised to show the respect that I'm shown. You were raised right. Thank you, Paul Jones. Yeah, anything, First Waffen, if you need anything from us, email me, Paul, the moderators, anything. We'll make sure you get it. Mindermom, Mobile One is short at our Walmart as well. So that's a good topic to talk about before we close. What kind of shortages are y'all seeing on your end other than motor oil? I had to go get medicine after my son got out of the doctor yesterday. They had the medicine for the stomach bug. I went to refill his, and I forget what it is, it's allergy medicine that he normally takes. They didn't have it. They said they don't know when they're going to get it back in. So they're missing some medicines at my local pharmacy. And the over-the-counter stuff was pretty much wiped out. Meat and meds here, Lulu says. Milk, Independent Marine, they're low on milk there. Animal food and medicine, Ziploc bags, Chris. Flour, Bamagen says flour. Can't find Santa Claus. Yeah, good luck on that one, Iris. Old Santa. Ammo still hit and miss, the prepping preacher. Pet food. A lot of people saying pet food. GG. Stop shopping at Walmart. What in the world, people, Andrew says. I'm not a huge fan of Walmart, especially at the checkout lines and stuff, because I don't do like the, whatever it's called, the automated checkout or whatever. But some towns, they only have a Walmart. Like some of the small rural towns, there's nothing else. They ran everything else out, except for maybe a pharmacy or a Family Dollar or something. Independent Marine, ABC store low on alcohol stock. It's because all the Santas have quit and they're at home drinking their troubles away. They're just like, I'm done. I'm celebrating Christmas different this year. Problem is Walmart has the things we need and others don't. Big T. Absolutely. Now in a bigger, in an urban area, you have all kinds of options. But in a lot of smaller towns, you'll have a Walmart. You might have like maybe a tool store or something, and a Dollar General or something like that, maybe one gas station. They've ran everything else out. And now when you go in there, the customer service ain't been there for a while. They look at you like they want to kill you for walking through the door. We have a Walmart and a grocery store, Mame says. Yeah, and I mean, you can drive an hour away to go get stuff, and sometimes we will do that. But other times, I mean, we have a few things here, but other times it's just not convenient. Or we can order online, but then the big thing is Amazon, and they're just as bad as Walmart. Short on common sense in our area. Steve, where you at? You in Beetlejuice's Chicago there? Piggly Wiggly, the prepping preacher. I've not heard that in a while, but I do know what you're talking about. Old Piggly Wiggly. Shortage of toys, American Omaha. My kids have probably noticed that. I don't know. I kind of figured because of the plastics and all that and the electronics. Marcy, I'm in a town of 300 total people. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It may be bad when you're trying to buy stuff, but if something goes down, that's where you want to be. Wine sipper, that's very good. I'm stocking up 91% alcohol for cooking on alcohol stoves as a backup. There you go. They're stuck out at sea. White collar, that stuff has been at sea and at port for so long. People keep asking, what do you think's in the shipping containers? If it's troops, they gone, son. They're gone. If it's troops, there's no way they survived in there that long. It could be military equipment. If it's the stuff that we need here, I wouldn't eat half of it now. It's been sitting there too long in the heat. The prepping preacher, short wild cherry diet Pepsi. I am jonesing. Somebody else, oh man, I don't remember who it was complaining about Mountain Dew. They could not find Mountain Dew in their area, and they were flipping out. And I'm like, calm down. You're a prepper. You can make it without Mountain Dew. I'm running out of space in my office. Yes, Melissa, I'm straddling a file cabinet right now. Yeah. I used to have this entire room, and then my wife moved a chest freezer out. That's how it started. She said, I'm going to move this chest freezer out here. I said, okay, that's fine. And then the shelves started showing up. And then, it's prepping and stuff. Now that she's canning, she's putting the canning stuff on the shelves. And then Christmas, she wraps the Christmas presents because I suck at it. So now we got wrapping paper over there everywhere and bows. It's just like ridiculous. And I keep getting moved closer and closer to the wall. Pretty soon, there's a window behind this thing. Pretty soon, I'm going to be sitting outside looking through the window at y'all because she done took it all. I'll take Coke over Mountain Dew any day. I don't like any of it. I used to like, Cherry Sprite, but I mean, it's made by Coke. So I kind of go 7-Up now, but root beer. I do like root beer. That's how it starts. It does, Double D. I'm telling you, it's the struggle's real. And I've told her, I said, well, I'll just get a one of those outbuildings and put it out back, something so I can look like Rudy at the Alaska Prepper with the big old bunker. And then I realized, well, the internet ain't reaching out there, son. It ain't gonna reach. So I don't know. Yeah, thank you for being here, First Waffen. That is awesome. Try ginger ale, John. I do drink it from time to time, but usually when I'm sick. I used to drink Coke until they went woke. Yeah, tomorrow, and when I get root beer, we have a few Amish stores nearby. I usually go there. They have really good root beer, and I would rather give them the money than somebody like Coke or even Pepsi. Canada Dry, Big T rolling up here with deep pockets. That stuff's expensive, Big T. Oh, boy. I've looked into that, Aaron. Get a Wi-Fi signal extender. I've seen them in the stores. I've thought about getting a buddy or something. I've got two friends. Caveman James, believe it or not, is a tech whiz. He's just not what you would call a social whiz. And then my buddy Travis, they're both tech whizzes. I've thought about getting one of those and getting them over here. Because I wouldn't know how to do it. cranberry ginger ale. And somebody said peach Red Bull a while back. I've been meaning to try one of those. But folks, I'm going to jet off of here for the morning. Again, tomorrow, store up on coffee. I've got that covered, Terry. Tomorrow night, again, Shotgun Saturday night, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be talking about movies, books, and TV shows that are very relatable to preppers. Okay, so we're probably going to be in on the Terminator, some of the Walking Dead. We'll go all over the place. If you have any suggestions for this, drop it in the comments, live chat or the comments after the fact, and we'll consider it and we'll talk about everything tomorrow night, okay? But I appreciate y'all being here. Until I got to go check on my son, but until tomorrow night, thank y'all and God bless.